Let's get some.
Ready to get some. Like I said, Leif is always ready to get some, which is a good thing.
Stand by to get some.
Stand by to get some.
I don't think people recognize what that actually means to us. Like we knew, we would say this all the time in combat or training scenarios, when you knew that, I mean, it was about to go down. Bullets were going to be flying around, explosions were going to be going off, and you'd hear someone very clearly over the radio, just in a real calm voice, come up and be like, stand by to get some.
It's a true statement, though, right? You know you're going to get some.
But when you can say it in that manner, when you should be like, stand by to get some, and people are like, stand by to get some. It's pretty awesome.
We lie to ourselves. We don't tell ourselves the way things really are. And when we do that, then we can't fix our problems. If we can't fix our problems, we're not going to improve. So we have to be truthful to ourselves. You have to stop rationalizing, stop making excuses, stop telling yourself little watered down assessments of where you're really at. Tell yourself the truth so that you can get where you want to go. You can be who you want to be. You can be who you should be when you do what you know you should do, when you pay attention to the little things, when you implement discipline, true and unflinching and unmitigated discipline in your life, when you stop trying to find a sweatless solution, when you look for weaknesses to work on. And all that starts when you stop lying to yourself. That's when you can become who you know you should be, when you tell yourself the truth about where you are so you can make sure you are in the right place. And if you're not in the right place, then you can get yourself on the path to get there. The path of discipline, the path of hard work, and the path of truth.
The skill itself is being able to detach during the event. The hard part is to notice. You gotta look for those signs. You gotta look for that moment when you start feeling emotional, or you know that it's gonna be something emotional. You gotta step back from those and get yourself in the habit of asking yourself, what do I look like right now? What do I sound like right now? Listen to the words that are coming out of your mouth and see if you're being a reasonable human or not. Look for the emotional quicksand and don't step in at the emotion of the anger, the frustration. When you start feeling the sweat beating up, when you start feeling hot, that should be a big red flag. There it is. That's the quicksand of emotion. And you don't want to step into it. You want to pull yourself back. The path. The warpath. A path of war. Moving toward a battle. A fight towards war. The actual war against our nation's enemies, or the war against my own weaknesses. Preparing and sharpening my sword and honing my skills and maintaining the unmitigated daily discipline in all things. Where does it lead? It can lead to war, and that's fine. In fact, I am waiting, and I am ready. Because the warpath is a war against weakness, and so it leads to strength. It's a war against ignorance, and so it leads to knowledge. It's a war against confusion, and so it delivers understanding. The warpath leads to control and leads to ownership of your life. And that is the warpath. adversity, the path of blood and of sweat and of suffering. The war path is the preeminent path of discipline, which is why it leads to freedom. And beyond that, in the end, it leads to peace.
Think if you took out the trash sometime. You're the boss, but you see that the trash is getting overfilled and you just grab it and take it out. Maybe in your mind you think you'd be losing respect, but you actually wouldn't be at all. In fact, everyone looks at you and goes, oh, he's a good guy. And you're working hard and you still got to maintain the discipline. The more that you treat them with respect, the more they're going to respect you. They're going to know that you're not too high and mighty. They're going to know that you're down to earth. When I was a platoon commander, task unit commander, I picked up brass. I cleaned the ranges with the boys. I would recommend that kind of attitude. It didn't make people think, oh, Jocko doesn't have anything better to do. They actually knew I had stuff to do. But what do I got to do? Pick up brass with the boys. Build the relationships. Set the example. They're going to respect you for it. I hear that I'm over 40, I'm pushing 50, whatever. Bring it. Back off, negative. Not happening. In fact, I'm stepping it up. I'm training harder, eating cleaner. I'm training more. I'm learning and reading and studying more now than I ever have in my whole life. Do I get dinged up? Of course I do. You know what? No factor. No factor. Deal with them. You know what? You know what I hear? I hear the clock ticking. That's what I hear. And the end is nigh, and time waits for no man. And you young guns out there, 18 years old, 20 years old, 24 years old. Listen, life goes by, and it goes by quick. Don't waste those years. Don't waste them. Live them. I know that you don't think you're going to live to be 30, much less 40, but you are and you will. And the earlier you get in the game, the better life you're going to have. Healthier, wealthier, stronger, smarter, better. Better. And if you're an old man like me, and you haven't gotten on track yet, get on track. Get on it now. Here's the deal. No complacency. No complacency. No backing off. No slack whatsoever. Fight. Fight that ticking clock with everything you got. So, like the end of a hard day, you put your head down with ease. Satisfied. The path. The war path. A path of war. Moving toward a battle. A fight towards war. The actual war against our nation's enemies, or the war against my own weaknesses. Preparing and sharpening my sword and honing my skills and maintaining the unmitigated daily discipline in all things. Where does it lead? It can lead to war, and that's fine. In fact, I am waiting Because the warpath is a war against weakness, and so it leads to strength. It's a war against ignorance, and so it leads to knowledge. It's a war against confusion, and so it delivers understanding. The warpath leads to control and leads to ownership of your life. And that is the warpath. The path of fire and adversity. The path of blood and of sweat and of suffering. The warpath is the preeminent path of discipline, which is why it leads to freedom. And beyond that, in the end, it leads to peace. People look for the shortcut, the hack. The shortcut is a lie. The hack doesn't get you there. There is no easy way. There is only discipline. You can't control other people. The only person you can control is you. You have control over your mind. Weakness. I'm nothing but weakness. I get emotional over stupid things. I eat the wrong foods. I don't sleep enough. I procrastinate and I waste time. I care too much about stupid things and not enough about important things. In all those ways, I am weak. But I don't accept that. So often, the easy path calls us to be weak for that moment, to give in to short-term gratification. Discipline will not allow that. Discipline can seem like your worst enemy, but in reality, it is your best friend. Discipline. It will make you better and stronger and smarter and faster and healthier than anything else. And most important, it will make you free. Discipline equals freedom. What do you do about the negative guy that's trying to bring you down? And sure, you can confront them, right? And you can, by doing that, join in their little game. And in doing that, you give them the satisfaction. They now know that they got into your head. And then you're turning your workplace into, your basic grade school gossip hall. So we don't like that. But now there are times, unfortunately, that you have to address things. And when you do it professionally. And you do it, your goal is to disarm them. Because remember that this negative person inside, they probably want the confrontation. That's what they want. But the preferred methodology for this situation for me is quite simple. And that is ignore and outperform them. You see, while you're over there watching me and talking about me, I'm working hard. I'm taking things to the next level. You keep gossiping and I'll keep working. You keep talking smack and I'll keep working. You keep focusing on everything and everyone else and I'll keep working. And when you finally look around at where you are and where I'm at, you'll realize that you have nothing left to talk smack about. And you will lose, and I will win.
One of my direct subordinates, one of my guys that worked for me, he would call me up or pull me aside with some major problem, some issue that was going on. And he'd say, boss, we got this and that and the other thing. And I'd look at him and I'd say, good. And finally one day he was telling me about some issue that he was having, some problem. And he said, I already know what you're going to say. And I said, well, what am I going to say? He said, you're going to say good. He said, that's what you always say. When something is wrong and going bad, you always just look at me and say good. And I said, well, yeah. When things are going bad, there's going to be some good that's going to come from it. Didn't get the new high-speed gear we wanted? Good. Didn't get promoted? Good. More time to get better. Oh, mission got canceled? Good. We can focus on another one. Didn't get funded. Didn't get the job you wanted. Got injured. Sprained my ankle. Got tapped out? Good. Got beat? Good. You learned. Unexpected problems? Good. We have the opportunity to figure out a solution. That's it. When things are going bad, don't get all bummed out. Don't get startled. Don't get frustrated. If you can say the word good, guess what? It means you're still alive. It means you're still breathing. And if you're still breathing, well, then hell, you still got some fight left in you. So get up, dust off, reload, recalibrate, re-engage, and go out on the attack. Do I ever feel like Sisyphus? Yeah. Of course I do. I've been waiting for people to start saying like, oh, you put another picture of the sweat and of a squat rack. Really? But I don't know if they understand. I've been getting on that squat rack and grinding it out for 25 years. And I'm not bored with it yet. It might seem like that's an unwinnable battle, but really to me, it's not about winning. It's the battle itself. It's the struggle. It's the daily test. That's what life's about. Not just physically, but mentally. Getting that rock to the top of the mountain. That's not what my goal is. My goal actually is pushing the rock. Because pushing the rock, that pushes me. That makes me tougher. That makes me harder, mentally and physically. It gives me much more than I give it. I want to struggle. I want to grind and claw and scratch, and I want to dig in and I want to push. And I don't want it to end. If I ever got the rock to the top of the mountain and it stayed there, I'd push it back down myself. I don't want to rest, and I don't want to coast, and I don't want to reach a point in my life where I say, that's it. I've done enough. I'm not going to give anymore. I'm not going to push anymore. No. That relentless cycle of day-to-day challenges, they aren't maddening to me. They don't frustrate me. They inspire me. Inspire me to drive
and push more and to push harder. That's what that rock does to me. So I say, dig in and get to pushing. Because we are talking about war, there is still tragedy and loss and darkness there. And that's okay. And to you vets out there, if you're having one of those dark days, it's okay. It's okay. It's okay to feel that darkness. And it's okay to remember it and miss it and hate it and love it. And it's okay to wish it never happened and at the same time to wish it never stopped. And it's okay to want to take it all back. And at the same time, to want to do it all again. And if you've got in your mind that you think that people don't understand, that's okay. They don't. But you do. You know darkness. You know evil. But more important than that, you know good. You know light. And you know laughter and love better than anyone. So, embrace that darkness. Own it. Don't look away from it. Don't bury it in booze or in pills. Live your life. Embrace your life. With physical activity and with nature and with jiu-jitsu and with sun and with laughter and guitar and good memories and creativity and discipline. Discipline yourself so you can free yourself and move forward into the future, where there's no more darkness, no more war, but peace. Where does discipline come from? It's pretty simple and pretty obvious. Discipline comes from within. It's an internal force. Now, sure, of course, you can have discipline imposed on you by some person, like a drill instructor, or like that self-help guru on TV. But the reality is that type of discipline isn't the real type of discipline that we're talking about. That discipline isn't as strong. It won't survive. What you need is self-discipline. Now, self-discipline comes from the self. It comes from you. It comes from when you make a decision to be disciplined. When you make a decision to be better. When you make a decision to do more and to be more. Self-discipline comes
when you decide that you're going to make a mark on the world. And if you think that you're not disciplined or you can't be disciplined, it's because you haven't yet decided to be disciplined. It's because you haven't created that discipline yet. So make the decision, make the commitment, discipline, the root quality that will improve every aspect of your life. And it'll make you better and stronger and smarter and faster and healthier. And most importantly, it'll make you free.